This will probably be the last one for the political minute. I'm just not going to have anything to do anymore with it because CNN is the most racist piece of trash I've ever seen in my life. Fox News is the most racist piece of shit trash I've seen in my whole life. All for the last, I don't know, from 6 o'clock till 6:50 here on I think the 7th on Thursday, 2021. Um, they keep showing pictures of Vice Presidential Biden swearing in, like that's supposedly going to make something. I mean, the amount on both sides for just complete rhetoric, camera angles, cinematography, open sedition against the office of the protector of the Constitution. It's just going to snowball to the next one and next one. I don't see why the Security Council does not remove their situation like they've done with the big three, ABC, NBC, and CBS's national news and even local news, and send out the national newspapers done by the C-SPAN group and everything else. That's the only real licensed national news agency. I don't see why they don't just instantly remove that like they've done several times in the past that they can do under that, unless they're all just trying to push this. Every single thing they've said is that the other side is not American. They're a foreign national group here with everything. They said that violent protesters who did not come up with Black Lives Matter said that they were there for the initial Black Lives Matter, which stopped the president from going over to the church, and they had to put tear gas in. And they said no one was going there and that they were burning the church to the ground so Jesus could come back. That's not Black Lives Matter. That's bunches of people that I know from around here that are with the Mussolini saying that they're defeated. Like the majority of them on the very first day of that going, and I'm going, can you at least even say the name of the person who got killed up there? I mean, you can't say it so much. I have a hard time remembering who George Floyd is around here with everything that supposedly started it all off. And I mean, honestly, it's like there's probably going to be a conspiracy come up to say the bridge of his nose is about the same proportions as Michael Clark Duncan, which I would totally entertain with everything, with how they go on that Mussolini's were not represented under a stupid situation out there with it. Now, CNN comparing people who bayonet lined the police trying to make a barricade, standing in there with tear gas going around them, and calling for the burning of a national memorial church by a bunch of white people, which I'm sorry, if we're going by public opinion, white people, even if you're 45% black standing there, which there wasn't a single black person with what CNN showed, showing these are Black Lives Matter people. Seriously, calling for the burning of the church, that they were being treated very differently, and that they had numerous people arrested there for threatening the life of the president so he could hold up the Bible like this. Instead of, I guess, he's going to be beating you with it like this. I mean, anyone who holds a Bible like that, it's like, come on, this isn't a Christian country. We were never founded on Christian principles. Christians are only allowed here to find their people that were just like, we were just way too much like enthralled by like Christian situations, gather up a tithe from what little bit they can get, and send themselves back over to their home countries. And they're not allowed to have more than 11 Catholic countries ever made, and they'll just amoeba out and take over places. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Undo everything with it. I mean, they claim that this was like, look at the black people that he was beating up and everything. And it's like, so white people dressed in all black, um, and you can't even be like they're dressed up as ninjas, beating people with their flags. And I actually watched them bayonet two people, not successfully, off the side so it didn't glance through. They got like an inch or two over. It would have been perfect, but you can tell they didn't know what they were doing with it or anything. And there's no black people in it. It was on Wolf Blitzer here. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, this is why people go and just go, I'm watching the movies, and, I'm dreading going to the treadmill when I get out of this lockdown thing for whatever it is with COVID. Because, if I see like the 9 and 10 o'clock news is like this, I will never try. I don't think I could trust C-SPAN, honestly, with it. It is that fucking screwed up with it. There was not a single black person they were tear gassing or forming a line with a little linked whatevers. And that's another court case that Donald Trump lost, so it said they couldn't even be that tough with anybody before because you don't care about what the new law that was made. And it's like, I'm sure it's like, what is black ops, special ops, basically like commando gear wanting to burn a church to the ground? Was there not enough little black girls in it, and it wasn't in the South? So it's like, okay, we understand. We keep all of our churches there. And, if it was a Stone Catholic church for Irish people that's going to be burned, what next? I mean, is it like, well, the French Catholics got to go find out where to make a French Catholic church in New York? I mean, this is the levels of hypocrisy, idiocy, and the fact that they were screaming that they were going to kill the president, even if he's an idiot. Because I know everybody wanted to kill, the last two Democratic presidents. They hated them beyond anything. And, one of them's like, they never wanted to kill, please. They reenacted it in every way that they could on political things out there. And, criticizing someone's inactions, I know I'll be told that I'm racist. I don't care. How in the hell do they not understand anything with this? I mean, they're not doing anything out there, and it's like, where are all these pictures that CNN is showing with them doing this under something? And it is just absolutely ridiculous with it. And I mean, the only reason why they're not wanting to push the possibility of impeachment and criminal charges is because now they've limited themselves so much. Biden has gotten out in front. He may have to sleep 10 to 12 hours a day, but he's still got a mind that can do the presidential BS. And if he's got a good enough support staff, he's going to get his sleep. So he realizes they've gone so much with it that it's like, oh, this is going to come back on the other presidents that are out. Because it's like, what are you going to be able to do after that? Can you impeach them afterwards? Well, it'll be basically treason. So you'll have to have the person tried for treason if you push that. And almost all the things now, if you look at ramifications afterwards, going, well, I'm only in for 8 years, so if Barack Hussein Obama messed up with getting rid of the Monroe Doctrine and getting rid of the Foreign National Eisenhower Doctrine and promising people you get rid of the domestic one, which basically means free for all on Native American reservations and kill them and scalp them if you want to. Basically, that will come back on Barack, possibly come back on him, Biden, and everything, because you've gone so much on the pulling the saw back. It's like, oh shit, you didn't realize because you were sitting there, you were sawing, and that's why you always have blue jeans and that on. It's like you hit your leg. There's been so many people with a handsaw, they let them do that, and it's like you can't use a chainsaw around here. Little bitty kids got that little bitty scar for like a year or two on their leg or something else. Be like 7, 8, 9 years old. They can't saw the wood because, they sit down there, and it's like you want to saw it across your lap. Don't saw nothing across your lap. They caught sawing the wood across their lap, and Biden's like, oh, whoa, I saw it. I saw what's going. I mean, it would come back on Bush, most notably with everything out there in the Iraq War and Iran-Contra. You could be going back under the effigies of the presidential libraries, making things legal as could be. Not a lynch mob, not a mob like you see out there. Formal court, individual persons or person responsible for it. Total clemency of massive amounts, not like some riot like they talk about that happened in Knoxville, killing off supposedly people that it's like, my family would never sleep with the Orientals. I'm a Roosevelt. Native Americans, or anything else like that. He was a proud white man. It's like, he was Jewish. God damn it. Watch them kill themselves like that. There's kind of the women. Holy sh... Too many Chiang Kai-shek jokes, I guess. In a three-way. I'm just looking at it with all of this, and the only thing that could be if they tried the 25th Amendment would be over the top, that it would basically encompass anybody or anyone who had an opinion, and it is just ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, I'm just going to switch for Fox News for 30 seconds. I'm sorry for letting this go on. They're going on about how it's manufacturing and stuff. Over here on Shep Smith, Pelosi. It's not just the Democrats calling for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. Here's the Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois this morning on MSNBC.
I think yesterday it became clear that the president is unmoored from reality and from his own. And I think
I just think that they have... They need to be seriously right here, Representative Adam Kinzinger. He needs to read the dictionary like I tried doing. It took me 3 times to do it, like Malcolm X did, and realize that'll settle half of everything because it'll get down to the definitions of the different adjectives. Because that's what he's going to do if you try and do anything to him. I mean, seriously, he's done the Malcolm X exercise of reading the dictionary. Yeah, I know, and I still can't spell anything. Yeah, they're pushing crazy. And they're fed up with people not standing up for them. They're doing the same exact thing that they were doing in Seattle and everywhere else where they gave them areas, except claiming sovereign separate territory. I'm going to stop it right here because it's just way too much dead air for everything. And I'm going to go back to doing some things. I know my friend next door, he was doing something all last night for something else overseas. Probably want to mount